Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to do a deep dive into the Santa Clara County real estate market.
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah, it should be really interesting, especially if you're thinking of buying or selling, or maybe you're just curious, kind of what's going on in Silicon Valley. It's definitely a hot spot.
Absolutely.
We've got some really great insights today, pulled from a recent market update by Andy Vong.
Oh, yeah, I saw that report.
Yeah, he's a luxury real estate advisor in the area. And let me tell you, there is some seriously juicy stuff in here.
Yeah, I was surprised by some of it.
Absolutely. Speaking of surprising, the first thing that jumped out at me was that median home price.
Oh, yeah.
A cool 1.7 million.
Wow.
I mean, that's a number that makes you pause, right?
For sure.
What's your take on that?
Well, it's definitely a big number, but what's interesting is that it's only a slight increase from last year. It's about 3%, so that could indicate a potential plateau forming in the market, though it's still early to say for sure.
A plateau, you say?
Yeah,
Interesting. But then you look at the inventory and things get really interesting. Andy's report shows less than 2 months worth of homes on the market. So to give you some context, a balanced market typically has about 6 months of inventory.
right.
So this is incredibly tight. What kind of impact does that have on buyers in Santa Clara County?
Well, it puts buyers in a tough spot. It
Yeah.
creates a very competitive environment. Andy's data shows homes are flying off the market in just 21 days on average.
Wow.
Yeah. So you really have to be ready to move quickly in this market.
21 days. It definitely sounds like sellers have the upper hand.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay, let's talk about those ever-changing interest rates. It seems like they've finally stabilized at around 6.5% for a 30-year fixed loan. Do you think buyers are adjusting to this new reality?
It seems so. There was a little bit of a wait-and-see approach earlier this year, but buyers seem to be accepting that these rates are here to stay. At least for now, of course, this adds to the affordability challenges, especially for first-time buyers.
Oh, for sure.
According to Andy, many first-time buyers are turning to strategies like family support or exploring more affordable housing options like condos or townhomes to get a foothold in the market.
Yeah, that makes sense. They're getting creative.
For sure.
Okay, so we've got a grasp on the overall market picture. Now let's zoom in on some key trends shaping things in Santa Clara County. Obviously, we can't ignore the tech sector's influence here being the heart of Silicon Valley. It's like its own ecosystem, isn't it?
It really is.
And that ecosystem is undergoing some shifts, with some tech companies downsizing their physical office spaces while others are embracing those remote work hubs we're hearing so much about.
Right.
This has interesting implications for both residential and commercial real estate.
It does.
Right. And those implications are playing out in different ways, it seems. Andy points out a rather intriguing detail. The luxury market homes above $3 million is actually holding strong. It's kind of surprising considering the economic uncertainties we hear about all the time.
Yeah, I agree with that. It is. But if you dig a little deeper, it starts to make sense. The Santa Clara County luxury market is being driven by a unique mix of factors. There's strong demand from local tech executives who have significant buying power, even during economic downturns.
Right.
Additionally, international buyers are still showing interest in the area, particularly in specific luxury property types like newly constructed homes with modern amenities, and those situated in prime locations with scenic views.
So it's not just any luxury property, it's got to have the wow factor, right?
Absolutely. And that wow factor often comes with a premium price tag.
Mm-hmm.
But even with high prices, these properties are moving.
Interesting. It seems like buyers in this segment aren't as affected by interest rate fluctuations.
Seems that way, yeah.
Now let's talk about another trend Andy highlights, and this one's a bit more about lifestyle. He's noticed a shift towards suburban living with places like Los Gatos and Saratoga seeing a surge in activity. Larger homes, more outdoor space. It seems like people are looking for a change of pace, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. The pandemic really accelerated this trend. People realized they could work remotely. And that opened up a whole new world of possibilities. They're seeking more space for home offices, room for families to spread out, and access to nature and a sense of community.
Right. It's like they're prioritizing well-being in a sense of balance, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And speaking of prioritizing, I found another trend Andy mentioned quite interesting: the rise of sustainable homes in Santa Clara County. It seems buyers are increasingly interested in features like solar panels, energy-efficient designs, and drought-tolerant landscaping.
Yeah, that's a trend we're seeing across the board, but it's particularly pronounced in a place like Santa Clara County, where there's a strong environmental consciousness.
It's like buyers are saying, hey, I want a beautiful home, but I also want it to be responsible and sustainable. And this trend is actually influencing property values, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Homes with these green features are often commanding a premium price. Buyers are willing to pay more for a home that aligns with their values and potentially saves them money on utility bills down the road.
It's a win-win.
Yeah.
So we've explored the highs, the million-dollar median prices, the fast-paced market, and the trends shaping buying preferences.
But, as with any market, Santa Clara County has its share of challenges and opportunities, which I think are worth exploring a bit further.
You're right, no market is without its hurdles. And you know what? I'm actually kind of curious to hear what Andy's insights are on that front. Let's dig into those challenges and opportunities in the next part of our deep dive.
Sounds like a plan. So let's tackle those challenges head on. The elephant in the room, as you might expect, is affordability.
Right.
That $1.7 million median price we talked about, coupled with the current interest rates. It creates a real barrier for entry, especially for first-time buyers.
It's a tough nut to crack, that's for sure.
It is.
Andy's report dives into some specific challenges they face. For instance, saving for a down payment is a huge hurdle. We're not talking about a few $1,000s here. In Santa Clara County, you're looking at a significant chunk of change just to get your foot in the door.
Exactly. And even if they can manage the down payment, those higher interest rates translate into larger monthly mortgage payments.
Right.
Andy's report actually highlighted a specific example. A buyer purchasing a median-priced home with a 20% down payment, they'd be looking at a monthly payment that's significantly higher compared to just a couple of years ago.
Ouch. That's a real eye-opener.
Yeah.
It's no wonder some first-time buyers are feeling discouraged. And then there's the inventory shortage we talked about earlier. I can only imagine the stress of trying to find a home when there are so few options available.
It's a pressure cooker for sure.
Yeah.
Andy's report mentioned that some buyers are putting in offers on multiple properties, sometimes even sight unseen just to try and secure something. And often they're finding themselves in bidding wars, which can drive prices even higher.
It sounds exhausting, frankly. But let's not dwell on the negatives. Let's flip the script and explore some of the opportunities this market presents. I mean, there must be a silver lining somewhere, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For sellers, this market is a dream come true.
Right.
High demand and low supply mean they're in a prime position to command top dollar for their properties.
That's the other side of the coin, isn't it?
Yeah.
While buyers face challenges, sellers are reaping the rewards. But it's not as simple as just slapping a for sale sign on your lawn and waiting for the offers to roll in, is it?
Not quite. Even in a seller's market,
Yeah.
there are strategies that can maximize your returns.
Right.
Andy emphasizes the importance of pricing your home strategically. Overpricing can backfire, while undervaluing can leave money on the table. It's a delicate balance.
It's about finding that sweet spot, isn't it?
It is.
And that's where having a seasoned real estate advisor like Andy can be invaluable.
Absolutely. They can help you navigate those nuances.
Right.
And ensure you're getting the best possible price for your property. And speaking of opportunities, let's not forget about investors. The rental market in Santa Clara County is booming. With the influx of tech professionals, the demand for rentals is consistently high.
So even if you're not ready to buy a home, you can still capitalize on this market through rental properties. That's a good takeaway for our listener. But investing in real estate, especially in a market like this, can feel daunting. Any tips for those who might be considering dipping their toes in?
I'd say, first and foremost, do your homework. Understand the different types of investment properties, analyze potential rental yields, and factor in all the associated costs, like property management fees and maintenance expenses. And of course, working with a knowledgeable real estate professional can provide invaluable guidance and support.
It's like any investment, isn't it?
It is.
Knowledge is power.
It's exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about the challenges and the opportunities, but let's get down to brass tacks. What practical advice would you give to someone who is actively considering buying or selling in the Santa Clara County market right now?
For buyers, my top tip would be to get pre-approved for a mortgage. This shows sellers that you're serious and ready to move quickly when you find the right property.
In this market, speed is key, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You can't afford to hesitate when that dream home pops up. What about sellers? What's your top tip for them?
Presentation is everything. Make sure your home is in tip-top shape. Staging can make a huge difference in how buyers perceive your property. And remember, highlighting those sustainable features can be a real draw for environmentally conscious buyers.
Great points.
Thank you.
Now let's shift gears a bit. We've been focusing on those who are actively buying or selling, but I know there are plenty of listeners out there who are simply curious about the market. They might not be planning to make a move anytime soon, but they want to stay informed. What advice would you give to them?
Stay curious. This market is constantly evolving and there's always something new to learn. Follow local real estate blogs and podcasts, connect with experts like Andy on social media, attend webinars and seminars.
It's like a continuing education course in real estate.
Exactly. The more you know, the better equipped you'll be to understand the nuances of this dynamic market.
Knowledge is power, as they say. So we've covered a lot of ground today. We've explored the ups and downs, the ins and outs, the challenges and the opportunities that make the Santa Clara County real estate market so captivating.
But the story doesn't end here. This market is a living, breathing entity constantly shaped by new trends and influences.
And that's what makes it so fascinating, right?
I think so.
There's always something new to discover. And speaking of discoveries, Andy's market update hinted at some emerging trends that I think are worth exploring in the final part of our deep dive. Things like the growing emphasis on community and the changing dynamics of luxury living. I'm really curious to dig into those a bit deeper. What do you say?
Let's do it.
All right, so we've talked numbers, we've dissected trends, we've even gotten a bit tactical with advice for buyers and sellers. But now I want to shift gears and talk about something Andy mentioned that really piqued my curiosity, the changing face of luxury in Santa Clara County. What exactly is he seeing in this segment of the market?
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah.
That traditional idea of luxury, sprawling estates, gated communities, it's evolving. What we're seeing now is a shift towards a more integrated, community-focused approach to luxury living.
Okay, so it's not just about the size of the house or the fancy finishes anymore.
Exactly. Buyers in this segment are seeking a more holistic experience. They want walkable neighborhoods, access to shared amenities like fitness centers and co-working spaces, and a sense of belonging within a vibrant community. Think high-end condo buildings with concierge services, rooftop gardens, curated social events.
It's like luxury is becoming less about isolation and more about connection.
Precisely, and this ties into another trend Andy highlighted, the increasing importance of sustainability even in the luxury market. Buyers are looking for homes that are not only beautiful and well-appointed, but also environmentally responsible.
So solar panels and energy-efficient appliances are no longer just nice-to-haves, they're becoming must-haves.
Absolutely, and it goes beyond the basics. We're seeing features like geothermal heating and cooling systems, rainwater harvesting, and even edible landscaping becoming more common in luxury properties.
Wow, it's like luxury and sustainability are converging, creating a new standard for high-end living.
It's a trend I find very encouraging. It shows that buyers are becoming more conscious of their impact on the environment, and they're willing to invest in homes that reflect those values.
And I imagine those features add value to the property as well.
Without a doubt. In a market like Santa Clara County, where buyers are discerning and environmentally conscious, sustainable features can be a major selling point.
Makes sense. So wrapping up our deep dive into the Santa Clara County real estate market, it's clear that this is a dynamic, complex, and ever-evolving landscape. We've seen record-high prices, a fiercely competitive market for buyers, and a shift in priorities towards sustainability and community.
I think the most important takeaway for our listener is that knowledge is key, whether you're a seasoned investor or a curious observer. Staying informed about market trends, challenges, and opportunities is essential.
I totally agree. So as we close out this deep dive, I want to leave you with one final thought. Given everything we've discussed, how do you envision the Santa Clara County real estate market evolving over the next few years? What trends do you think will shape its future?
Well, that's a great question. I think we'll continue to see the themes of sustainability, community, and technology playing a major role. I anticipate even greater demand for homes that are energy efficient, technologically advanced, and integrated into vibrant, walkable communities. And I think the lines between luxury and sustainability will continue to blur, creating a new paradigm for high-end living.
It sounds like an exciting, albeit unpredictable future for real estate in Santa Clara County. And I, for one, can't wait to see how it all unfolds. So to our listeners, we encourage you to stay curious, keep exploring, and maybe even share your own predictions with us. We're always eager to hear your thoughts.
Until next time.
Happy house hunting.